estate gets real.
I'm Rachel Davis.
And I'm Kate Baldwin.
I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Coach told me I can never miss.
Okay, well, I'll do that for the beginning. Eric, third time's a charm, promise.
All good.
Okay.
Welcome back to REI Baddies, the podcast where real investors share real deals. I'm Rachel Davis.
And I'm Kate Baldwin. And around here, we don't do fluff. We don't do theories. We talk about real stories with real investors that did their first deal within the first 6 months of their career or less.
We are so excited to sit down with our friend Eric Irvine and hear his journey. I just happen to know Eric comes from a tech project manager background. He's kind of settled into really getting into deal sauce and being more of a creative finance rainmaker. And he's also jumping into capital raising as a way to turn no cash flow or no way properties into cash flow plays. Eric, thank you so much for being here.
No, thanks for having me.
I love it. Let's kick it off with your story.
Yeah. It sounds like, here's my question, Eric. Based on your career, it sounds like you had a pretty good thing going prior to kind of getting into into our community. How did your journey begin in this Pace Morby community? And are you full-time or are you still doing your W-2?
Yeah, so I've had a kind of a meandering journey. So yes, worked in tech for a while. Also, had my own business, worked in elder care and then estate management. So it's been kind of all over the map. I would say any recruiter that looked at my resume would be a little bit confused and maybe pass on me.
They're like, I don't know, do you have a commitment issue, Eric?
Exactly. So while they've all been great, it's not hey, you've been an accountant for 25 years and we know what you can do. But it's been an amazing path. And yeah, I did have a great setup when I got into the community and was doing this kind of, half-time, not necessarily a hobby, but I knew I always had my job to fall back on. I've recently gone full-time. So the last month and a half,
No way!
Yeah, left my job, and then now I'm doing this 100% of the time. So it's it's exciting. I'm pretty pumped about the opportunities that are coming our way and what we can make of it.
So so what in our community made you make that decision? Like, how does that? Like how you started, we can even start from the beginning, where you placed your energy and your time in this space, and then how you got to this point that you made that decision a month ago.
Yeah, so I really have been interested in real estate for a long time. Bought a property many years ago, the conventional way, wanted to do more of that, but knew that wasn't possible just based on, down payments and what we would actually have to do to get, 20 properties or whatever the goal was. So found the community, learned more about creative finance. It, opened up a lane that I hadn't been aware of, and just, mine kind of exploded. So got in and did what I think a lot of people do when they don't know where to start, what their lane is, what the opportunities are, is they start wholesaling. So joined up with a couple guys that I met through, a friend, Ryan Love and Jamie Marcos, two fantastic human beings. And they had a small wholesale group. And so I started doing direct to agent work with them. And then got into some lending and then, found people that I really, really enjoyed working with and started raising capital for their deals, lending on their deals. And it's been, I think, just over 2.5 years, and kind of settled in my place, know my role now. And I'm excited about what we got coming up.
First, I want to just talk about that this is the only community where we celebrate leaving your job.
It's kind of odd. It's people are like, oh, I got fired or I quit or whatever it is. And everyone's like, yeah. And
in the outside world, they're terrified.
Yeah, in any other situation, or you talk to friends or family, and it's always like somebody died. You're like, oh no, what are you gonna do? And here it's the exact opposite, which is weird, but also refreshing.
I love that. Kind of going off of what you were talking about, you're working in microfamily and raising capital for that now, correct?
Correct.
What got you into that?
Relationships. That's how I approach most things. In my life, I always want to make sure that I'm working with the right people. If you're, you could be in something that's extremely lucrative, but you don't, trust the people that you're working with. You don't like spending time with them. So I really gravitated towards, a few people, did deals with them, liked how they operated, good communication, like all the things that are needed for a good partnership. And honestly, my question to those guys were like, how do we continue to work together? And it wasn't me saying, oh, I'm going to bring this, this skill set, or I can do X, Y, or Z. It's like, how do we continue this relationship? And, everybody needs money. And that was kind of the first thing out of their mouth was like, look, we have the deals, we have the boots on the ground, we have, the pipeline is there, but we always just need to have more money coming in order to bring these projects to fruition. And I thought, okay, cool. I can do that. I know I can talk to anybody. I know people. Like, let's do it. And so that's kind of where it came from. Like, I wasn't out there looking like, oh, I'm definitely going to focus on these microfamily projects. It was, what's my team really, really wanting to do? Where is their direction? And how do I support them?
So with that all said, what was your first deal within our community?
It was a very drawn out wholesale deal in North Carolina that was an amazing learning experience, but did not help me retire in any way, shape, or form.
Probably negative retirement.
Yeah.
Tell more of the story. What'd you learn?
Yeah.
So I was doing direct to agent stuff, and my approach on that was never, I don't think I ever called about a specific property. I mean, like sometimes I would use it as an entry into the conversation, but I was very big on just building the relationships with agents and letting them know that I am 100% not the first person you should call. But when your clients start to kind of like feel the pressure and don't have any other options, like, this is what we can do for them, and wanted to make it very clear, like, if they're able to sell it on the market, awesome. When you can't do that, give me a call. And so it was easy to build rapport that way. Like, I wasn't hounding them, trying to, lowball offers or trying to offer lowball offers. It was just like, I was another tool that they could use, moving forward. And I called this woman out of the blue, and within like 10 seconds of me introducing myself, she started kind of harassing me, being like, I've been waiting for the contract to come through. You're supposed to, wire the EMD, or I forget the actual details, but she goes off for about a minute. And then I just had to stop her. I said, I think you're mistaken. I mean, I know you're mistaken, but
I told you I just found your number.
Yeah, I was like, this is the first conversation that we've had, so I don't know who this other person is. I'm sorry it's going that way for you and that you're expecting to close, tomorrow and nothing's happened. But tell me more about this property. So she starts telling me all about it, and I said, all right, well, I can have a look at that with my team. And she says, great. And she sends me over the info. We ran the numbers. We, a little back and forth, had it under contract, a few days later. And then, then it took a very, very long time to actually close because of the lack of systems and not great communication and, people tenants staying longer than they should have, and all the things that can go wrong. But after, I don't know, a month or two, or I can't remember, I tried to block it. But we did end up closing the deal. And yeah, that was the first one. And I think it was great because it didn't go smoothly. And
Right.
I learned a lot of things that could go wrong. And it was eye-opening. I think if my first deal had just been like a grand slam and just, everything was perfect about it, it would have kind of ruined me not ruined me, but like made it a little more difficult moving forward, because any other hurdles that I would run into, I'd be like, well, I've never experienced this before. The first deal was perfect. Why is this,
Right. So what do
going
you
south?
think, what was the turning point from, where was that first, like, a moment where you felt like through that transaction that you thought, oh no, this isn't going the way I wanted to? Did you reach out to other people when that happened? Were you trying to fix it on your own? Like,
Well, luckily I had a team.
you had a team. So you had a team right when you came into our community?
I mean, I would say within a month and a half, I started working with these guys.
Okay.
Because I knew I didn't know what I didn't know. Like I started when it went through some lessons.
Yeah.
There's a plethora of directions you can go in. And so I didn't even really know what they were working on. I just wanted to surround myself with people that were doing active deals.
That's what we're trying to show people, that it's not even, you can do all the book work you want and it's real action. It's really like JVing and creating those relationships. It's why like our community is so powerful and so like growing so well, because we're so like surrounded by people that want to help each other. And I think that's insane, but it's amazing. But yeah, because I mean, we're trying to break this deal down. I mean, you're across the country too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one heck of a challenge. I mean, you're not even in a spot where you could drive, even if it was a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
I mean, you're all the way in California and you're looking at North Carolina. I mean, that wasn't definitely like, that seems insane. Like, really crazy to me. But
Yeah.
interesting. So,
But that's how most of the things I do are. I'm
Okay.
I'm in the Bay Area, and I'm not doing any deals out here. Everything is from a distance, and so that's why it's so important to have
those relationships.
the relationships where you can call on people who know the area or can help you out with a favor. So
That's
I actually kind of have a follow on to that, because it leads into, so you've talked about the importance of relationships. When I think about when it comes to capital raising, like for most people, that first leap can be incredibly intimidating. Mm-hmm. And so how do you, Eric, start building trust with investors early on? Like what are some of those transferable skills or those actual skills that you think helps you do that?
yeah, I don't pitch deals. I mean, once I know them long enough and we've built up a relationship, I will go and tell them obviously about opportunities that we have. Otherwise, there's no point to, in doing what I do. But in order to get to that point, I never call up somebody random or somebody that I've talked to a couple of times and say like, hey, I need, $500,000 for a deal, and break down the numbers for them. Am I stopping?
Yeah, it says stop. Recording has stopped.
It says yours has stopped. What should I do? Hold on, give me a second. I'm sorry, Eric.
No, you're
That's
good.
never happened before.
I didn't even do anything.
Weird. I'm so sorry, guys.
I didn't even do anything.
I can think of is to jump out and jump back in, Kate. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, don't.
Is that are you okay, Eric? If
Eric's
I'm gonna have you do, can you do it? Because there we go. Thank you, Eric.
I don't care.
I know. Hello, you spent like a couple days with me last week. You know that I just get down here trigger about things. So, all right, the recording never stopped on my end, Kate. So, do we want to go back and just start with the beginning of that question?
Yeah, whatever. It makes for fun talk. Okay, keep going. I can edit it all. Just Yeah. Keep talking. It's fine.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone really listens to this whole thing anyways? No.
No. Especially if I'm on here, they're not going to listen.
No, no. I like to, no. You're amazing. Keep going.
Yeah, so whenever I'm talking to people, I want to know about their needs, right? So you really want to get to know somebody, a potential investor, and just figure out what problems they have, like what their hopes, dreams, desires are, before you can even offer something. I mean, I can talk about what I'm doing and what some of the projects that I've been a part of have looked like, but I'm really trying to to dive deep and figure out what they want to do. Because if somebody has, $25,000 that they want to, dabble with and just like test the waters.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come to them and say, hey, I need $500,000. Like it's so far off. And unless I know what they want to do, like I need to be able to, to direct the conversation that way. So if they're saying like, yeah, I have 25K, I'm like, okay, well, I can't do anything with that. But I know, my friend Rachel actually needs $25,000. I can make that connection and help them solve a problem that they have. What do I do with this capital? And then, hopefully that builds to, trust, because I'm introducing them to people that, are doing, good things and will treat them well. So it's a long game. It takes time.
I was going to laugh. I was going to laugh and just say, yeah, you'll refer them to people who pay back their lenders.
Yeah.
That's like, for you, that's huge when you're referring people, because that kind of connection you have to own that. So I have a lot of respect for it, Eric.
I mean, if we want to go like on that route right now, just where, it's funny, we started this show with this intention to help people find their place. And, Rachel started off in sub 2 and she wholesaled. Mm-hmm. I started off in Gator and I wholesaled. So, we were kind of doing, Rachel did lending. I did wholesaling. My point is, we didn't know when you come into this, and I feel like this is a good conversation because you are very involved with our community. You're a mentor. You're constantly giving back. You're constantly doing meetups. You're constantly supporting, like the OGs of our community, and you're pretty well known in our community. And I think that this is a topic where we were kind of struggling ourselves. So we started this podcast. And so now, a few months in with our podcast, we're realizing like our space. So we're actually learning our space, like where we want to be as partners in our community. And so that's kind of a funny thing. We're helping others, but in the same breath, we're helping ourselves. Like, what do we want to do? Where we want to focus our time? I know you started off in what type of a role did you start off in our community? Did you start at Gator, sub 2?
Yeah, I started in sub 2.
Okay.
And then shortly thereafter joined Gator.
Okay.
Just because I was interested in that lending piece, wanted to learn more about it, and it was very new at that point. So I was
got it.
Like, okay, cool. This seems interesting. I should jump on that as well. And yeah, it's been great. But I think the important thing, back to your, what you just said, it's like do something. Like,
oh no, we were doing something.
You're gonna figure out if it's right for you, and I think it's so important to just find what you hate to do. Yeah. Maybe not even hate, but you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be on the phone calling people.
And we actually, agreed. Yeah. I think that's something we have accomplished. Like, we are really on a great path now. It's just, I'm just saying, like, that path is real, everyone. And that, I want everyone out there that's kind of struggling to understand that it's not just like, sometimes some people get it right away. And then some people are struggling to find their niche within our community. But it's okay. Like you say, like, just get up every day, meet people, go to these, it'll all fall into place for you. Sometimes it just takes, making another call. I remember I got onto so many Zoom. Like, and I was like, sometimes I didn't like it, so I got out of it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it wasn't like, I just said, okay, this isn't for me. So I went on to the next Zoom. I mean, that's what this community is about. So you can't really say, oh, I can't find my niche. You can. It's just sometimes it takes time. And especially if you have no history of real estate or even sales or, So, and it's very crucial that you do partner up with people, right? I mean, I would say that that's something that you stand for. You're constantly building those relationships with people, JVing with people. You probably can get away without it now, but and why is that so important to you to do those, to build those like JV, and be a part of that first month and a half with that group of people? Why was that really important to you?
Because you partner with people who are more experienced and who have actually done something, to like, even if you make no money on your first, second, 10th deal, you're going to see what a process looks like.
Right.
And you're going to see what can go right, what can go wrong, and know that you have a sounding board to ask those questions. Because then, at some point, somebody's going to want to come, some newbie is going to want to come and JV with you. And if you haven't gone through those steps and you're not, tested, when it all hits the fan, like, you're not going to be able to provide any value for that other person. And so, and I just don't like working alone either. Like,
I'm with you on that.
One or two people just to chat with.
Because it could be a lonely world, right, Rachel? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think we're both seeing that now where we have each other. So it's nice to have somebody like that.
What you're talking about, like, we can talk about deals that didn't make money and the growth that's behind them, but I want to talk about some deals that you're doing right now that are making money, and just give some context for folks so because we haven't had anyone yet that's talked about microfamily.
Yeah, I love this.
For anyone who doesn't know what microfamily is, do you mind just doing a little bit of an explanation?
Yeah. And
then explaining why you believe that these are the types of deals that are great for investing in?
Yeah, so microfamily, it's small multifamily, and kind of in like the 10 unit range, and it's exciting because we are going after properties that are derelict properties, underutilized assets that have been used usually in a different capacity. So we are looking for, primarily in New England, right? And so we're looking for old mills, schoolhouses, firehouses. We bought a Catholic rectory last year, or just over a year ago. We just purchased a motel, like this motel that's been out of service for quite some time. And so we're looking for these spaces where you can go in and restructure them, right? And so there's such a shortage of housing, especially in the markets that we're working in. I think I was reading a report the other day that, I believe it was just southern New Hampshire as a whole, or just like that general region, they were short like 60,000 homes.
Oh my God.
Like, there's such a need. And you can only do so many new builds. We're not into the ground up construction of doing like 10, 20 unit buildings, but how do we take existing spaces and break them up into 10 units, little efficiency apartments? And so that's what we're going for, making affordable, lovely homes for people. And the returns can be pretty good. Like, we had this church project that we're working on.
I heard about the church.
The terms were incredible. We got it at, seller finance for 0% at 30 years with no balloon. So the debt was so cheap. We're able to come in there, do our renovations, and we're almost done with the project.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it should be live in about maybe a little over a month.
Wow.
So fine, I got some photos of it today. It's looking good. But I mean, we're projected to net like 20 grand a month on it or something like that.
And is it just between you and one partner?
No, there's a few of us on there. So we have, I think there's 4 or 5 total.
I gotta ask, just because this is one of those projects, we had Birdie on not too long ago. Have you guys worked with Birdie? Just because I know a lot of times when you're working with like something dilapidated, like she's able to make anything beautiful.
Oh my god, dude, you have to go back because she just went out Monday, the 22nd. So she's got. Listen, I'm telling you guys, if you're listening to this video and you're watching us on anything, I mean, our video, we have literally. We get things out of our guests. So hers was so funny. She talked about being the police coming because she was doing her lines in LA, and there was like the neighbor thought she was being like hurt by her husband who was reading the lines. So have the police come to you and Birdie anywhere where you guys are working on anything? No, she's
just curious.
We're gonna bring handcuff her next time. But yeah, because she's really good about like just I think that's a good connection between all of you guys because she does like the South Carolina old school.
Let's see, have you guys worked
renos? We got to get them together.
Yeah, I love Birdie. She has been in the process with us. So
good.
We've been in construction for a while, but when we first got the property, she came and has done a couple different walkthroughs there. And just seeing her vision or hearing her vision and like walking through every single inch of that property. So it'll be fun to see what comes of it. But
that's awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I hope you guys make content on that. I want to see like the before, the after, the whole process.
Well, if you need Rachel and I to become your hosts, we'll come sit in the living room with you and do a whole series on edit it and everything.
Awesome. Yeah. I will probably take you up on that.
We'll start doing that. We'll go to that. Okay, sorry. She likes to kind of give me we need a
you have a sign? It's like shut.
No, but we need one because I'm like
I have. Kate, you want to say what the sign that was above your computer?
Oh no. I was trying to be so good today. Shut up.
Oh no, you had to shut up. I'm sorry. I thought it was stop talking.
Well, I had stopped talking.
Eric, I do have another question about you, just with seeing some of the stuff you're involved with. Obviously, Kate and I met through Deal Sauce. I see what you do.
I know. Let's talk about Deal Sauce, man. We gotta get some. Yeah.
How'd you get involved with Deal Sauce? I'm assuming it's your partnership with Justin. And like, what do you do with it? How do you use it to make money?
Yeah. So, I right when Deal Sauce was born, almost, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years ago, or when they started really talking about it, Justin just brought me in no official way, but was just like, hey, we have this thing. Why don't you start playing with it? And so I've been. Say again?
You're techie. Yeah. You have a tech background, right? Don't you?
Yeah, nerd.
I mean, I'm no engineer, but I know my way around it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But it was more just, hey, this is something we're building from scratch. Just be essentially a beta tester. And so I've seen it in all the different stages, which has been fun. Nowhere near the effort that Justin has put in. I mean, the man, I don't know how he gets it all done, but I get to see the rewards of his work and go and play with it. So yeah, I've been in it for a very, very long time and really use it to find capital partners. That's my focus. So what's great about it is you can go and see detailed transaction history and who a lender was, the amount that they paid, the predicted interest rate that they charged based on historical data and what rates were at that time, and then reach out and see what they're up to. So it's an interesting process. It's cold calling people, but you're calling them knowing what they've done in the past.
But you also know that they did X amount of transactions. It's so much, I use it every day. I think we're on the same platform. Yeah. But it's definitely because you can dig into how many, you can do landlords, you can do fix and flippers, you can find out how many bills they had, what their portfolio is, how much they made. It's endless and it just continues to keep growing and growing. I know Justin reached out to me and wants me to do like a realtor's perspective on like how to communicate to realtors. So I'm going to do like a whole series for him and start that.
One with you teaching people how to use it as a capital raiser, Eric?
I know.
Have you done a series on that?
Have I done that? I have not. No. We've been
Interesting.
Yeah, we've been noodling with the idea. It's a constant refinement of how to do the outreach, and I have a bunch of different scripts that I use, and just kind of testing which ones get the greatest response, and playing with that. But
play with that for right now.
Yeah, it's like once it's perfect,
yeah, then we can pull it.
Then I'm, and I jump on calls with people all the time to tell them what I'm doing and how to do it. As far as giving somebody the master class about how to go out and what to say, it all depends on the people and the market that they're in and their communication style. So I'm still trying to get that super dialed.
So what do you think about Prop AI?
I haven't used it that much.
Okay.
I think it's a great way. I have talked to Nathan a little bit about it and how to use it for raising capital, which is a completely different strategy than what it's used for now. Raising money is a much more touchy subject.
We got to be a little bit. You can't just cold call. You actually have to call.
Yeah.
And know your client. And like you say, you build those relationships. You got to kind of know personally, and I am a searcher and I'm a researcher and I like to do that. I am not a really good cold caller person, but especially when, even knowing what you know on Deal Sauce, like, okay, this guy has done this for X amount of years. He's done that. And you're being specific. You're finding out how long has he been in business, how much he's lent, like even the generic questions that you just know, just to call the guy or the woman and be like, hey, this is what I do. But you got to have that. You got to have some history on that person you're calling, I would imagine, especially if you want their money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Prop AI is great for...
It's good for what we're doing, cold calling.
It's good for disqualifying people. You call 1,000 people, you figure out that, 990 of them aren't interested. So then you can focus your time on talking to those 10 people that might be. With raising money, like if I got a robocall and said, do you have money?
Hi, my name is Jane. Do you have money? I want it.
Exactly. Like I'm not going to engage in that call. So I think there's a way to do it. Probably. I think
I was more leaning, not even actually thinking about capital raising. I was just thinking in general. I apologize. That was probably not an appropriate question for what we were just discussing. But yes, I get it now, and I think that is definitely the case. I think you should, if you are capital raising, I think you should know the person you are calling.
Yes, or at least not use an AI caller.
I apologize.
Different perspective on this, just coming from a sales background. And again, I don't capital raise, but I obviously have been on the other end of those phone calls.
What do you mean? You're the money.
Yeah. So for me, some of the most successful people that I didn't already know to get me on the phone didn't actually come to me with a deal. They would come with, hey, I don't have a deal right now, but I see that you've lent on projects like this. I'd like to talk to you so that way I know when to engage with you in the future when I do have a deal.
Exactly.
Is that what you do as well, Eric? Because you talk about you don't pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I like that wording.
You can steal it.
But but yeah, that's the exact thing. It's like I'm not looking to do business with you tomorrow unless, of course, you love our conversation and you want to write a check, which doesn't really happen. But in that outreach, it really is like, look, I have nothing to sell you whatsoever. I'm just trying to understand if this is something that you actively do, and if so, how can I support you in that? Well,
you're like a problem solver, like you said earlier, and what are your dreams?
Yeah, exactly.
What are your dreams that's going to be the headline. Yeah. What are your dreams by Eric?
Yeah, if I can connect you with somebody, fantastic. If I can send you deals, fantastic. If you won't just tell me to kick rocks, also, that's totally okay.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not offended.
So for someone you don't strike me as someone who gets offended by people. No. But for new investors, or particularly someone who's new to this community, how would you, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. No, you already said that. I'm not going to ask that question because you already said how you use deal sauce. I apologize. Kate, is there anything? Hey, look, man, it's people.
I'm talking like, I'm like geeking out over here again, man. So you don't even, I'm like saying things. I was like, wait, shouldn't have said that.
I mean, so like on deal, like going back to figuring out what, like picking a lane and figuring out that you hate it, right? Or that you love it or something in between. But, you know, you just mentioned deal sauce and how to maybe use that as a newbie. It's, again, pick a lane that you're focused on and then figure out how to do that in deal sauce, and don't worry about other things. So if you're looking for, you know, single family homes where, you know, the seller may be open to seller financing opportunities in North Carolina, then figure that out and how to do that with your eyes closed. And then once you realize that you want to stop talking to sellers who might be interested in seller financing, cool. Then use that skill set and kind of shift it over to finding your, you know, multifamily or your RV parks or something completely different. Like, but if you try to go in and learn all the different aspects, and this goes for any tool available, not just deal sauce, but anything
else. Community. It's the community writ large, figuring out what you're doing.
This is a very big community. This is a good.
Yeah,
I love what you're going. Keep going.
Yeah,
so just like figure out a place or figure out a lane, or else you're gonna get overwhelmed and you're gonna be horrible at all the things. You know, so
I will say I had a lot of struggle at the beginning. Like I almost stopped. I stopped for a month. I got very frustrated. I live in the Keys, so I'm in Key West. There were no one really down here. I have no idea what that was.
We do things live and in color here, Eric. It's fine.
I mean, who knows? There's probably a door fell off. Okay. And I got really frustrated, and I started to just really doubt myself and figuring out where I belonged. And I mean, even the people would call me and they'd be like, you need help. Like the people from Gator. And they're like, you need to pick your lane. I'm like, what lanes are there? Bottom line, it definitely took me taking one thing and just going for it. So I did like the 3 wholesale deals. Then I did a foreclosure, and I realized I hated the foreclosure deal. I never want to do that again, ever again. Talk about drama. I got 2 days and he's supposed to have his stuff out, okay? It's been going since last December. And, but yeah, you're right. It was once I made that initial just like, okay, just do this one thing. Stop looking at everything else, because I like to like overwhelm myself. I call myself like a Googler, meaning I will research something and then it'll just like, it's stupid. I already know it. Go, do it. Stop looking at the book. Go, do it. And I did it, and I JV'd with the Pickles. They came to the Keys. They came to Key West a couple weeks ago. They did that foreclosure with me because I got to the point where I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, so I mean, it is building relationships, and it's also picking a lane and just sticking with it. And if you realize you don't like it after you finish it, that's okay. You're going to use that for the next step in your career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eric, I have the most important question of the
You
podcast.
ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Who knows? Let's see what you got.
What does it mean to be an REI baddie to you? And you can say badass if you want, if it makes you feel like more of an alpha.
We won't make you do the heart.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would, first and foremost say I would never actually use the word baddie. Ever.
Oh no, watch. We're going to put, so I told Rachel she's going to have a hot pink sweatsuit with REI baddie. She can't wait.
All right.
I'm going to get you one. I'm going to get you one too.
Oh, I get one also.
Yeah. You both are getting hot pink sweatsuits with REI baddie logos on them. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So REI badass. God, I mean, and I wouldn't even classify myself as that. That's for other people. But I would think it's just continuing to move forward regardless of the circumstances, and always striving to learn more and get better on a daily basis. And I think that's pretty badass if you have that attitude. And you're going to have deals that fall apart. You're going to have days that you don't want to to do anything. And I guess this goes for anything in life. It's not just real estate.
Sure.
When you wake up and you don't want to do the thing, but you put your shoes on and you go for the run, or you pick up the phone and make that call, whatever it is, if you have that mindset to get better every day, like, I think that's pretty admirable, and it will help out in the long run.
Well, and I also want to add that, because you just said it's for other people to say. So I'm going to say something about you. Okay? You lead by example. You're a leader. You're giving. You are honest. You have integrity. You have skill, but you work hard. Mm-hmm. So those are the things, like, not only what I think about you, but what other people were saying about you when we were looking and researching you. So I wanted to add that, because that is how I see you. So thank you so much for taking this time to be on our show. It means a lot to Rachel and I. I know you're a busy dude, and it's early there, so I appreciate that.
It's not that early, but I appreciate the kind words. It means a lot to me.
Yes. Well, Rachel,
the epitome of the obstacle is the way, like, is what I get from you, and I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, this was an honor to have you on our show, and I know we laugh a lot, and we do, but we're really here to help the community grow. We really want this, like, that little gap that people feel insecure in, that is only temporary, and that there are people out there like me and Rachel. You can call us, you can reach out to Eric. And again, like, how do we get a hold of Eric? I don't know. He's going to tell us, like, right now. How do we get a hold of you, Eric?
Yeah, I think the best way is just my, through Instagram, which is right there, eric.irv. And I'm pretty responsive on that.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really dope. Yeah, you got to get some more stuff on there. Let's get some more content for you.
I know.
We're gonna get it with this episode, brother. You're gonna be a collaborator on many of these things. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you both. So wait for Christmas.
Well, I'm not wearing.
Gonna have the best outfits. All right. Well, y'all have a good day now. Thank you so much for tuning into REI Baddies. And what do we say, Rachel? Real estate gets real.
I'm Rachel Davis.
And I'm Kate Baldwin.
I can never miss a Monday.